precisely what to do.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to What in the Womanhood. I'm your host, Dr. Zani Dinika, and today I have the lovely Todo. I'm so happy. I now know how to pronounce her name. So when I called her, I was like, please tell me how to pronounce your name. So she goes by the name The Dramatic Lawyer on social media. If you've seen her on TikTok, on Instagram, and I absolutely love her content, and I knew she would be the best person to bring on my podcast. Welcome, Todo.
Thank you.
Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Rejoice, but most of you all know me as Todo or Todo Sims or the Dramatic Lawyer. Okay. I'm a content creator. And I'm a law graduate.
So how did the name The Dramatic Lawyer? We know the drama part. Self-explanatory.
Okay, so when I was studying, I used to work for this company, and I would always be on Twitter the whole time. And then I was very dramatic on Twitter. I would just post very controversial stuff. And one time, I posted something to do with politics. And I used to have like my full name on. It was Rejoice Imango, and then somebody took a screenshot, and it was going all over. And my family started calling me, you should stop doing this, you shouldn't do this. And I was like to my friend, hey, I need to change my name because my family's like, we don't want to be associated with whatever you're doing. Our name is there. So I was like to my friend, I need a name. So I started thinking. So obviously I had Todo Sims because Todo Sims is like a name I've had for the longest time. But I just needed something else that, people can't identify me with. My friend's like, well, you're dramatic and you're studying to be a lawyer. So let's just dramatically. I was like, oh, okay. I typed it out, and before you know, everybody's like, dramatic lawyer, the dramatic lawyer. I'm like, okay, I guess it's a thing.
Well, thanks to that friend, because then you would have stopped creating content.
Right.
And then we wouldn't be entertained.
Yes, that's true.
I absolutely love how you are on social media. Like, you're just yourself.
Thank you.
You're so bubbly, you're fun. And of course, to my dance, nika glass ke wine. That's my favorite.
I know.
So, how did you then start? So you mentioned that you started from Twitter. Yes. How did you then now start getting into making videos, Instagram, TikTok, and all of that?
Okay, so Twitter was my first love. And then COVID happened. COVID happened. I was stuck alone in an apartment. I think the building I was staying in only had boys. I was the only girl in that building, so I really didn't have anyone to talk to.
So this was still in Cyprus?
Yes.
Okay.
When COVID began, 2020. I was like, okay. And then I see TikTok people doing stuff. Initially, I wanted to be on YouTube. I'll talk about silly stuff on Snapchat before, but I really wasn't confident then. I was like, oh my God, I'm scared. My friend was like, no, just post. I'm like, no. And then obviously TikTok came. I was like, okay, this is a different vibe. And I think when I first got my first viral video, I was like, okay, I think people like what I'm talking about. Let me do this again. And then it went on and on and on. And the more I did it, the more confident I became. The more I stopped caring about the comments or whatever people are talking about. Yeah, that's how I started.
And what's your go-to social media platform right now?
Right now, I've recently fallen in love with Instagram.
Why?
I think people's reactions to my posts on Instagram have become better. Okay. And people engage more on Instagram now compared to TikTok when it started.
Okay.
TikTok was, so first it was Twitter. And then I realized I was going too deep into the politics to the point where I posted something different. People were like, why are you not commenting about the situation? People
people were following you for politics.
Yes, people would literally get angry at me, like, why are you not commenting about what's happening? And I'm like, guys, I'm back in Zim. I'm seeing the situation, because it's different when you're outside.
Oh, yeah.
I'm seeing the situation and I just don't have anything to talk about.
Yeah.
And so I left Twitter like that. I'm like, no, I don't want to be in this mess now. And I went to TikTok. TikTok was lovely, when it started, but now it's like, the creation has kind of gone down. It's like people are doing the same thing. People want trends more than whatever you're talking about. And I feel
Yeah.
like on Instagram, people actually listen and care, and they want more of the stuff I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you use social media mostly for? Is it just for fun, just creating, or do you monetize your content?
When I initially started, it was just for fun. And when I was in Cyprus, was the time I was making money from it. And when I came back to Zim, the engagement is totally different.
Yeah.
It's,
How is it different?
in terms of the views, and also, for example, on TikTok, people, when you're in Cyprus, people actually watch the video on TikTok,
Yeah.
which gives you more views. In Zimbabwe, when I came back, I realized so many people were seeing my videos, but I have like 500 views. So what would happen is one person downloads the video, puts it in a group of 200 people.
WhatsApp. Yeah.
WhatsApp.
Yeah.
WhatsApp kind of killed, the viewership for me, because I would meet a lot of people and they'll be talking about my videos. I'm like, where did you see them?
Yeah.
I saw it on someone's status. I saw it in a group.
Yeah.
And in turn, I'm not getting anything from that. So it kind of stopped. But now I'm realizing I need to kind of, go to platforms that actually can help me monetize. I think Facebook does it better.
Okay.
YouTube does it better. So I'm trying to move my content from TikTok and, probably Facebook and YouTube
Yeah.
to make money. And obviously I've advertised for different brands, different companies. That's another way of making money from it.
I think that's probably like the main way in Zim.
In
to be
Zim, yeah,
honest.
that's the main way.
Because in like TikTok, there isn't the whole like buying gifts or whatever.
it is there.
Ah,
But
is it?
It is there. But the thing is, if you've got followers from, most people in Zim don't buy the gifts. They don't send gifts because I guess the situation. But if you've got followers from America, I've received gifts from, people in Nigeria, people in America, people in Turkey when I do live videos or even on my post. Yes, and then you transfer that into money and then into your PayPal account or whatever account,
Okay.
and then you make money from it. Yeah.
All right. So tell me some of the comments that you got from people about being on social media. Like, let's start with like workspace or people that you studied with. What were sort of some of like the negative comments that you were getting?
To be honest, when I started in Cyprus, no one really cared.
Really?
It's only when I came to Zim that I realized the impact. Because I remember the first day I was by the airport and then someone was like, dramatically, I'm like, huh? Okay. Okay. It's like, no, this is you on Twitter. I'm like, yes, that's me. And I'll just be walking around in town or, eating somewhere or in a club. And then this young girl's like, you're my role model. I'm like, wait, what? My friends are like, no, you don't know her. How is she a role model?
Like, we know her.
Like, what? And then I started realizing, oh, okay, so people actually do know me. This is the life I am living now, where I have to be aware. So, to be honest, when I started, there weren't any negative comments. If there were, probably I didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
But people were happy, people would, my relatives would call me, they're like, you were posted in a group. I told them I know you. I'm like, oh, okay. I would have those kind of reactions. People would be excited to tell whoever that they're actually related to me. I have to confirm they are. So, no, I don't remember if I've gotten.
I remember holding myself back for such a long time. When I started creating, I used to be so scared. Like even because I do makeup as well. When I started my makeup page, I never used to put my face on it because I didn't want people to know that I'm doing makeup. Because I just felt like, I can't mix dentistry with content creation, with doing makeup, like make up your mind. What are you,
Oh, yes.
Right? But funny enough, like you would find I would go and do like a makeup gig. I'm doing makeup for a wedding. And then the bride will say, oh yeah, she's a dentist. And then everybody's like, what? You're a dentist? I'm like, okay, give me your card, and that's just how it would go,
Oh, yes.
So, I just realized like sometimes we hold ourselves back, we put ourselves in a box. But really and truly speaking, the world is evolving. There are many ways of making income, I mean, today's a Sunday, we're chilled, but here we are on this podcast, so who knows where this will take us,
True.
But, it's just doing something, you're being creative, you're being yourself, you're having fun, and you might actually make money out of it.
You never know where it takes you. I mean, being on social media has opened so many doors for me. I would not even lie. It's
Yeah.
it's like even the job I am in, it was like, even the interview was like, oh, she's dramatic lawyer. Okay, she should come, and then
Yeah.
everyone was just excited to have me there. And you walk in rooms and, it just becomes easy to talk to people because they already know you and they already like you, or they already relate to whatever content you're putting out there. So it becomes easy to do business, to do whatever it is
Yeah.
that you're doing because of social media. So I'm really grateful. And I think, if somebody tries and comes and, comments negative, I'm just like, you don't know what I'm getting from this. I don't care. You don't know what this is doing for me. And also for me, it's just not the opportunity as well. It's the messages I get from people.
Yeah.
Like in my DMs, young girls. Oh my gosh, you inspire me to be better. I like what you're doing. Oh, I'm just going through a terrible day, and then I was just looking at your videos dancing.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like doing this. And then you get a message like that.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm enjoying doing this and it's also helping somebody, so why not do it?
So why not?
Yeah. So it's amazing.
Yeah. Who's your favorite female influencer right now? Or content creator, or anybody in the social media space?
In Zim or in the world?
Okay, let's start in the world.
In the world. There's this lady, Jackie Aina.
Oh, yeah.
I love her so much. She is just, she's done so much, paved the way for like a lot of Black girls,
Yeah.
And she's proven that it's possible to actually make a career out of this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
so she is definitely my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love how, she moved from just making YouTube videos, makeup videos and going into her own brand. She became like a whole massive digital entrepreneur, which is really impressive. And in Zim? Crickets.
I'm actually thinking, you said female.
Yeah.
Huh.
Just say me, and then I'll smile. Be
It's
happy. Okay, even if it's male, like your favorite influencer or content creator.
There's someone I think has been doing quite well. That actually grew from, I actually watched him grow. I think Magic Wacho. I think he was really doing well.
Oh,
I watched his TikTok grow. I watched his brand grow. I watched him grow on TikTok and grow on Twitter as well. I remember when he started on Twitter, I was like, follow me. I'm starting this. And now he's like more followers than me. So I really admire what he's done. And just his work. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so some people may think that, it does seem that way, that social media has sort of like created a culture of comparison, like amongst women. What do you think about that? Do you think as women, like, because for example, we're talking about Jackie Aina, and now you're looking at Jackie Aina and you're like, oh, why is it not me? Or, like, what do you think? Have you ever felt that way? Or do you think women should have a different approach or how they look at influencers, so to speak?
I don't think social media has done anything. There has always been comparison among women.
Yeah.
You walk into a room, when you're going on to any place, you ask yourself, how are they dressing? Because, as women, you want to look better or you want to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
So I think it's just, when it comes to influencers, of course, people try to compete.
Yeah.
People are trying to be better than the other person. And I always say to people that are always trying to compete or to look better than the person for likes or whatever it is, I feel like what makes you popular, which is what has worked for me, was not me trying to be like someone.
Exactly.
It was just me being myself. I'm not a good dancer doing whatever stupid dances I'm doing. And just talking about my own truth, not trying to be like Jackie Aina. In as much as I admire her, I'm not a makeup artist.
Yeah.
So I can't try to be like her.
Yeah.
I can just learn from, her path and, use it on my own path.
Yeah.
So I think what most women need to do, especially those that actually want to be content creators and do well, is to stop looking at who is doing what, or competing, oh, she has a Gucci bag, oh, now I have to go and get a Gucci bag. That doesn't work. And I remember I was telling my friend the other day, I was like, you know what, I have seen beautiful women in their bikinis on Twitter get 5 likes.
Yep.
Do you understand? So it's not about, it's really not about that. It's just about people fall in love with someone they can relate to.
Yeah.
So if someone watches your video and they feel like this is real, you know, Dramatic Lawyer is going through the same relationship stress that I'm going through.
Yeah.
You know, they like you for that. But the moment you try to be like Kim Kardashian, the moment you try to copy whoever, whatever influencer, people can sense something if it's not real.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
people can tell that this is gimmick. This is not it.
Yeah.
Yes, they might like you for a while, but it's not. It won't take you
Yeah.
anyway. Yeah.
And I think you've kind of touched on it on your page as well about the age difference. Like you have an 18-year-old who's looking at a 50-year-old or 40-year-old woman and feeling like you're behind. But look at all the years that woman has put in the work to be where she is. You know?
Oh yes, I always try to tell young girls to say, look, I am 32. I have gone through a lot.
Yeah.
You know, so if you see me going on holiday, or if you see those girls in first class or whatever, if it's a 50-year-old, they've worked for that.
Yeah.
You don't expect to just magically wake up and be like, oh, now I can afford to be in business class, or I can afford to be in first class. It doesn't work like that. That's not life.
Yeah.
You know, it's not reality. Yes, for some people, they're fortunate. They come from rich backgrounds. They can. But if you're not coming from that, be patient, you know, and work hard towards that. It will come.
Yeah, definitely. So there's this topic, and I'm always on the fence on this one, because like, you know, when people post and say, oh, don't believe what you see on social media, like, oh, social media, you know, people will show you what they want you to see, kind of thing. I mean, while that's true, I don't understand why someone would expect me to post myself suffering all the time. Like, I really don't understand it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's my content, it's my page, and for me, I'm trying to make like a visual diary of my life. I'm trying to remember all those good moments. For those moments when I'm down, I can have something that will say, hey, you know what? Not everything is horrible,
I did this.
you know?
No, yeah, that's true. I think people should just stop blaming. You know, I've heard people like, no, you're influencing kids the wrong way. I'm like, no, it's you know what? It's your duty as a parent to kind of tell your kids how life is, you know.
Yeah.
The fact that I post drinking, people are like, oh, you drink every day? I'm like, no.
No.
But I'm drinking for your likes. Because you guys like seeing me with a wine glass, you know. So I'm doing it for you guys, you know, for content. It's content creation. I'm creating a brand. Because I've realized if I post without a wine glass, we're like, where's the wine glass? So I'm like, you want to see it, so I'm doing it for you. And then, so is it reality? No, it's not. So if you try and go home and be like, let me drink because Dramatic Lawyer is drinking every day, that's on you. It's not on me.
Yeah.
You know, you decide what you want to consume on social media and what you want to take. At the end of the day, you know, I have people that come on my social media page and I'm like, why are you talking about this? Why are you doing this? Right? And I'm like, you know what? You have an option to follow or unfollow. You decided to come and follow me.
Yeah.
You know? So if I talk about whatever I want to talk about, don't come and question me about it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't sit well with you, I've got people I've unfollowed because I'm like, I don't like this. This is not good for my soul. I unfollow. I don't want to see this content. So if it's not good for you, you know, just unfollow and...
But you know, you can't please people.
Oh, yes, you
Because
can't.
I actually remember hearing someone commenting and saying, oh, so-and-so's content just became very depressing, so I stopped following. Okay, so now you want me to post when I'm depressed so that you stop following me? No,
you
honestly,
can never
can't
please people.
Yeah.
I remember there's a time I did a video. I think I was talking about marriage. You know, how I'm okay with not being married at this age.
Yeah.
And then people are like, no, you're not okay. You're faking. You know, you're probably sad. I'm like, how do you find the courage to come on someone's post and tell them about how they're feeling?
Yeah.
And disagree with what they're telling you. Like, how does that make sense? I am telling you this, and you're coming and saying, what I'm telling you is not true.
Yeah.
How does that make sense?
It's so toxic. Why do we do this, Todo?
I don't know. I'm like,
I don't understand why
You
we
know,
do it,
I
but we still do it, right?
Oh yes, people do. People do it.
But then how do you manage it? Do you have like a method of trying sort of like cleanse, like a social media cleanse to say, you know what, I'm just taking a break, I'm just cleansing, I'll come back?
I think 90% of the time I'm not affected by the comments. And it all started on Twitter. You know how toxic Twitter can be.
Yeah.
And I got to a point I was like, you know what? People that know me, they know who I am.
Yeah.
And there are very few people. I've got a close-knit family, friends. And those are the only people I care about. If they come to me and say, what you did is wrong, then I will listen. But if you don't know me, I don't care. Honestly, because at the end of the day, I know who I am.
Yeah.
My family knows who I am. My friends. So if you come and give me a negative comment and tell me that I'm this person when I know I'm not, and my family knows I'm not, I honestly don't care. However, I do take the times when I just don't feel like posting, you know, and I'm probably going through something. And because most of my videos, especially when I'm dancing, I project happiness. I want people to feel happy. So if I'm not feeling like it, I don't post because I don't want it to be fake. I don't want to pretend. So I do take time off sometimes. And it's like,
How many are you in your family?
We are 4.
4. I see your brother sometimes and your...
He's become very popular. He
I
likes
know.
it. He loves it.
You know what fascinates me the most is when you keep the filter on and then the lashes are also on his face. And I'm just like, why are you doing that?
He's like, dude, I met this person and they're like, they know you from Germany. It's like, dude, you're popular. People at my work are like, you're Wu's sister. Like, oh my gosh, you really like the attention, don't you?
He's enjoying it.
He loves it.
Yeah. Okay, so now I want to talk about like relationships because you talk about relationships a lot.
Oh yes.
I mean, I always look at you and I think, you know, posting in my nuggets. Yeah, I mean, what's your view like on like relationships? Like, of course, you do like give advice and all of that, but do you think like it's like always a one size fits all, or you feel like obviously it's going to be different for every person?
No, relationships are different for every person, to be honest. People like different things. People come from different backgrounds. You know, so yeah, they are different. And I think, you know, personally, my own journey when it comes to relationship, I think, you know, you have to kind of explore, experience. That was my journey to kind of get to a point to say, look, this is actually what I want, not what my friends. There was a time I was following my friends because, you know, they said getting a rich guy is a thing.
Yeah.
And then I would do that. And then there was a time when, you know, I was following my other friends and say, no, it's all about love. And I was in relationships with broke people. I'm like, what? This is not for me. So I think, you know, just growing up and learning, I've gotten to a point where I'm like, no, this is actually what I want, not what my family thinks, not what friends think, not what I've seen, but this is what I think makes me happy.
Yeah. And like the comments from like women who watch your content, have you noticed like, is it always people who are agreeing with your point of view, or some will say, well, not exactly for me? How have you seen it?
Most women agree with me. I feel like a lot of women are going through the same thing. It's like, oh, I'm also going through that. And also, like on my TikTok and Instagram, I have more women followers. I think it's because they just agree. Guys don't always agree with me. They're always like, no, that's
Costa.
not how it is.
Hi, Costa. How you doing? Anyway, yes.
Easy. So, yeah, you know, sometimes I post these things thinking I'm the only one going through this. You know, I'm in the single phase. I'm going through this. And then people are like, girl, I'm there with you. You know, I can relate. I'm like, okay, so I'm not alone. This is real life.
Yeah.
So, it's
There was a time I posted you. I posted you and then I was like, in my mind, she's like my best friend. I'd be like, you know, you post something and then I'm like, I'm having a conversation with her and I'm like, yeah, girl.
Yeah.
I'm taking a sip of wine and I'm like, yeah, girl.
You know, I think the things I talk about, most women want to talk about, but they just kind of not, they're afraid to actually put it out there, to say, look, this is what I'm going through. I think the video I posted recently when I was talking about the reality of singleness, I think it was one of the most honest videos I've ever posted. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, how are people going to react to this? But I'm like, this is good content. I feel like this is good content.
Oh wait, I think I remember that one.
And I was just, you know, being honest about, you know, the challenges I face as a single person.
Yeah.
You know, and then a lot of women were coming and saying, look, it's the same thing. We're going through the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I like that. And let's talk about meeting people on social media. do you meet guys on social media? Like, do guys see you and then they're like, okay, let me try and get to know the dramatic lawyer?
Oh yes. Oh yes, the
Uh-huh.
DMs, people are sliding. People are sliding. But the danger with social media is, I think people most of the time are not genuine, or people are just. I feel like sometimes people just get excited to just get into the DM, and they're really not, interested like that. They just want to have this thing. I've talked to her.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, I really want to be in a relationship with this person. My last relationship, we met on social media. It was okay, but it's kind of hard as well, because it's like you have so many DMs, and also, like I said, I'm always at home. I'm never out there, so I'm thinking, okay, let me try and meet someone here. But it's hard because people have ghost accounts. People are following certain type of people. People are, you go through someone's comments. You're like, oh my gosh, you think like that? No. I'm not interested. No. So it's easier in the fact that you don't have to go out to meet people, but at the same time it's tricky when it comes to kind of just filtering to say, who do I give a chance? Because it's like,
Yeah. Okay. But like there are these dating apps. Are they popular in Zim?
I don't know. Hey, I've never been on a dating app.
I heard Tinder is actually quite
really
active. Well, I'm no longer in the dating space, unfortunately.
I've never really thought about going on a dating app. I don't know. I just feel like, no. Maybe not now. Maybe later I might think about it, but I'm not there yet.
It's like the last straw for you.
Yeah, I'm not yet there.
Okay. So there's a lot of sexism on social media that just happens. Like, people kind of just see you, like, let's say if they see you in a bikini or just enjoying your life, then they're just seeing you in some type of way. Or they think you're not professional or whatever. Like, have you felt that way sometimes?
Oh, yes, I do. I mean, especially with guys asking you out, they kind of make it seem like because you're on social media, then you're probably loose. You're entertaining a lot of guys. You're talking to a lot of men. And it's not the case. And you post, when you're dancing or, you're in a bikini, like you said, it's like, what are you selling? You know? And I feel like, especially with our country, that's what's taking back social media. Because if you look at America, UK, people are taking this as a career. It's not about, the fact that I'm posting 5 videos a day, it's not because I'm looking for attention. Yeah. I'm trying to make money out of this. So it's so sad that, that's what's happening in our country, where people just think somebody dancing on social media or somebody posting their nice pictures on social media is a certain type of woman or is trying to get attention from men. It's not the case. So you meet guys and they're trying to date you, and they kind of make this. They kind of say, "Oh, you're on social media, so if I date you, will you let go of your social media because you found the man that you've been looking for?" I'm like, no, that's not the reason I'm on social media. Let's start there. Or it's like, oh, close your DMs, or the kind of thing. It's like, no, I'm not there for that. Yeah. Obviously, people are gonna slide, just like people are gonna walk up to you when you're walking in the streets. Men see something they want, they're still gonna approach it, whichever way. Yeah. So it's sad that that's what happens in our country, especially. You get those comments.
And I hate this term, slay queen. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Like the way people say slay queen, like, and they say it in such a negative light. If
like looking good is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like loving your life is a bad thing.
It's a bad thing. Like,
no, it's not.
Goodness me. It's like being on social media. Like, you're on Instagram, you look good. Even dare you use a filter? You are a slay queen. How?
You buy a Brazilian, you have an iPhone, you're a slay queen. What is going on?
I really don't understand it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But have you sort of met like-minded women on the social media platform?
Oh yes, I've made a lot of friends. People I probably wouldn't have met if I wasn't on social media. I have. and it's beautiful. You know, sisterhood. You learn a lot from what other people are doing.
Yeah.
You know, you get corrections, you get help to say, why don't you do this? Why don't you talk about this? Or why don't you go this way? So it's really been good.
Okay. So now let's talk about like career advancement, right? Because you studied law, and then let's say at some point you're thinking about seriously like pursuing that path, right? Now mixing with social media. Do you think that's going to be like a hindrance for you? Are you going to have a strategy? Have you thought about it at all?
I have thought about it a lot in terms of, you know, the type of law I want to do, which I think social media will help. I'm more keen on humanitarian law. I want to work with people. I want to help people. So I feel like, you know, with the platform that I have, it's just a great opportunity to kind of, you know, engage and find help for people and help people.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the path. That's the path I'm preparing to go to.
Please go through with it.
Yes, I am.
Because we need to show people that it doesn't stop you from being professional. You can actually use it to propel you forward.
And I think the other thing that people just, you know, as a country, I think we should start learning is it's okay to do a lot of things at the same time. Yeah. It's okay to change. Yeah. You know, people are like, I did this. Let me do this. You know, if you listen to most of like content creators in America, most of them started for a different thing and they're making money with different things. Yeah. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's okay to change. I think as Zimbabweans, we're taught to do this and go this, you know, get your degree, go this path. You're supposed to make money from that. You know, you look at that guy, Kebi Lem, who made money from, you know, literally not saying a word.
Just doing this.
Exactly.
And it's done. Wow.
You see? So I think the world is evolving, you know. Yes, you studied this. And tomorrow, if somebody says dancing like this is going to pay me $1 million, trust me, I'm going to throw that law degree away. I don't want to start dancing like that. Because what is the point at the end of the day? Because to be honest, yes, people are passionate about whatever they're doing, but at the end of the day, it's about the money. It's about the income. It's about, you know. So if I can get it another way that is legal.
Thank you for adding that.
And safe. Why not? You know, why not? So I think, people should start becoming more relaxed and exploring instead of just, you know, waiting on whatever it is because you studied this.
It's really just worrying about what people think out there.
Oh yes. Yeah. Oh yes.
Just blocking it out and just
and also doing things for people. You know, there was a time I was concerned when I came back to Zim. I was like, I have to do that because people expect me to. I'm like, I don't care. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm making a good income. I've got my side house. Like everything is okay. I am happy. So I honestly don't care. My family is happy. If my family, my friends, and I am happy, I don't care what everyone else thinks, to be honest.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
This was so refreshing and fun as I thought it would be.
This was fun. No, thank you for having me.
All right. Okay, guys. So we will see you in the next episode.